Excellent. Now, okay. Now let me call the attendance. Becerra Jocavet, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Rioja Beliz Mariela. Okay, she's not here. And Rios Delgado Ángela Lucía.
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Okay. And what about the other course? I think one person is there. Okay. Let me see. Ávila Castillo Luis Horacio is not here. Gabriela Cadena Ver Ezequiel. No. Castellón Soria Nineth. No. Fernández Campos Aleida. No. Medina Gutiérrez Yusain. No. Muñoz Melanie. Okay, no. And Vargas Aneiva Fabricio.
Here, I'm here.
Thank you. I think you were not present on Wednesday.
Yeah, on Wednesday I wasn't able to attend the class, sorry.
Okay, do not worry. But thanks for your for being sincere with me. Okay, that's it. Now we're gonna start, okay? I'm gonna share the screen right now. Now, as I was telling you guys, and Fabricio, maybe this is new for you, but I don't think so because I assume you have attended to the theory classes, right? Or not?
Yeah, I'm aware of what my my fellows said about the third speaking part of the lectures and everything. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now, as I was telling you, what is speaking to about? You will have to deal with a passage, a reading passage, which can be, I don't know, an article, a letter, or announcement, okay? And after you read, you will listen to a conversation about that article, letter, or announcement, okay? And after that, you will listen to a question based on what you read and what you listen. And according to that question, you will have to answer, okay? For this, you will have 1.5 minutes, only that, in order to speak. So let's move on to some suggestions that I can have for you. Please, I think someone has joined. Who is it?
Okay. Hi, I'm Ever. Yep.
Okay, please.
Sorry, I'm late.
Don't worry. Thanks for attending. I will be completing the attendance. You are Ever Ezequiel, okay? You are.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Now, as I was telling you, please, okay, who needs, okay, Fabricio, can you help me reading this?
Of course. Which
question
part?
Prompt. This one.
Okay. The question prompt. The question will look something like this. The woman expresses her opinion of the university's plan. State her opinion and the reasons she gives for holding that opinion. After the prompt is displayed, you will have 30 seconds to prepare. You cannot see the reading while you prepare or speak.
Okay, now, what do you have to do in this case? Pay attention to the kind of question. This is a sample, okay? Es un ejemplo de pregunta con la que se pueden encontrar. En Speaking 2 se van a encontrar con este tipo de preguntas. Ojo. Así que considérenlas al momento de responder. Okay, what do I need to know in order to answer this kind of question? ¿Qué tengo que hacer? You can follow this. It is like a map, okay? With time as well. If you follow this example or this sample of answer, I am really sure you will answer the question the best way possible, okay? So, please, Fabricio, continue reading, please.
Okay. The good news is that you can always use the same template to organize your answer to TOEFL speaking question 2. Try this one. Reading main point, 6 seconds, according to the announcer, article, letter. Reasons for reading, 6 seconds. This is because, and transition, 2 seconds. The man, woman opposes this. The man, woman supports this. The man, woman has a mixed opinion of this. First reason, 23 seconds. To begin with, she points out that. Second reason, 23 seconds. Moreover, he or she argues that.
Excellent, good job, thank you. Okay, this is a map, okay? This is a way of organizing your ideas. If you organize your ideas this way, you will be able to answer, okay, the question that you have here. Okay, what do you have to do at first? You have to explain the main point of the reading, okay? What is the reading about? You have to explain, and you can use a phrase like this. According to the announcement, article, letter, and you can explain there in 6 seconds. Consider the time, okay? After that, you have to provide some reasons, okay? Why is this happening? This is because you can explain the reasons of the article, 6 seconds as well. After that, you have to move on from what you heard, from what you to what you listened, okay? How can you do this? Okay, the man or the person, the woman, agrees with the decision, disagrees, opposes, supports. You have to explain what happened in the conversation, okay? The point of view. You have to explain the point of view of the person who is talking, okay? You can use examples like this. The man, woman opposes, the man, woman supports, the man, woman has a mixed opinion. You can make use of a variety of tools in order to express what you think, right? So consider this as suggestions. What else? Before you say that, okay, the man in the listening disagrees with the decision because first reason, one reason, 23 seconds, and second reason, 23 seconds. That's it, okay? The man or the woman will explain some reasons why he or she disagrees with the idea or agrees. So you have to explain that in your speaking, okay? In your answer. That is the way you have to organize your ideas. And after this, you can summarize all the things you have said up to that moment in one sentence, okay? Because of those reasons, that person believes that or thinks that. That's it. That is the concluding sentence, as I told you on Wednesday. That is the way you have to organize your ideas, okay? In this kind of question. So be careful, okay, guys? If you follow this, I am really sure you will be answering the question as best as you can, okay, guys? Please consider taking notes on this. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave it there for 1 minute, okay? Start. Okay, guys, I hope you consider this map in order for you to organize your answers in a better way, okay? Now, let's practice. Are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, let's move on there. I'm gonna let you read this. Okay, this is the one. Please, you have 50 seconds to read this. Start. Okay, guys, time for you to listen. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Now, let's see.
Read the article. You will have 45 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now.
Now, wait a little bit for the recording
Now
to
listen
start.
to us.
Okay, this is the recording, okay? Listen carefully.
Student as he expresses his opinion about the university's new plan.
I totally disagree with this plan. I think it's time for the university to focus on technological features such as computing and telecom networks. Sometimes I find it hard to access the internet with my own laptop in the library because of the speed. You know, if each room features a high-speed network connection, it would be much better for us to study wherever we wanted. And who cares about the chairs and bookshelves? Nobody. Why does the university want to waste the money on things that are not important? It's okay with the wooden chairs. We're not going to stick around there for the whole day. Also, talking about the expansion, we already have plenty of space for students to study. I remember it was last year that the Student Center added more desks and chairs for the students. Wasn't it enough? Anyway, I don't think this is a good plan.
The man expresses his opinion.
Okay, now please be ready to listen to the question. This is the question.
Anyway, I don't think this is a good plan.
Pay attention, please.
The man expresses his opinion of the announcement. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Okay, guys, are you ready? Is the question understood or do you want me to play it again?
Play the game, please.
Okay. Listen, please.
The man expresses his opinion of the announcement. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to think about your answer, okay? And after that, I'm gonna choose 2 people who will be participating, okay? If there are volunteers, will be perfect. So let's start. 30 seconds to think about your answer, please. Okay, guys, time's up. Is there any volunteer who would like to participate? No one? Okay, then I'm gonna choose. Okay, Lucy, are you there?
Yes, teacher, I am.
Please,
Well,
answer.
okay. Okay. According to the announcement of the university, in order to enlarge the library, they think that because of the some students need some more space and they need to buy some other desks in order to the students have more space and learn about more, have more information. They will enlarge the library, but the demand on the recording is this disagree with with this uh, with this plan, because he think that the university should be focused on the technology and the speed and better connection. And he think that the university is wasting money because it is not necessary more space for the students. And the last year they bought already some desks and chairs, and for the university was not enough this. So that's why.
Okay, excellent job. You did You mentioned all the details. You follow the map that I showed you, the sample of answer. So excellent. You explain what the reading was about. You explain the point of view of the person who was talking, and you provide with reasons. This is reason number 2 and reason number 3. Okay. Be careful with the time. Okay. You only have 1 minute to speak. So control your time at the moment of speaking. You organized your ideas perfectly. What you have to do now is to control your time and to control the ideas that you're going to transmit in your speaking, okay? The rest is excellent. Good job.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you.
Now let's move on to another person. Fabricio, are you there?
I'm here.
Please, your answer. 1 minute.
Okay, perfect. Well, according to the university, there's going to be some changes in the library. They're going to expand and add more chairs to the structure. And well, the student disagrees with this plan, and he explains that it won't work. To begin, he points out that more chairs are not important because what they need is to get more speed and tech features. Moreover, he argues that also the expansion is not necessary since they already have enough space for every student. So, well, at the end, he states that he's not, he doesn't agree with the plan.
Okay, Fabricio, good job. At the end, you couldn't find the best
Yeah.
word for expressing the idea.
I was,
But
yeah,
how can you work on that? Work on
I was,
vocabulary. Okay?
oh, yeah, I was trying to make a conclusion, but
You
it
did
was
it. You did a
too
good job.
long.
Yes, you did a good job. Excellent conclusion. But you couldn't find the word the moment you need it. That's why I am telling you to work on vocabulary. Okay?
Okay.
It could have been perfect. You did it in 1 minute and 2 seconds. So you could, if you could have found the word, I don't know, in 1 second, that's it. So be careful with that. But the organization of ideas, the structure, everything was perfect, at least for me, okay? So good job. Be careful with the ending. That's it, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent job. Now we're gonna move on to another exercise. For these exercises, please, I want Ezequiel and Jokabet to participate, okay?
Okay.
So be ready. Fabricio and Lucia will rest, but it is your turn to speak now. I'm gonna let you read this. 50 seconds to read, please. Start. Okay, guys, did you finish reading?
Yep.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, time for you to listen now, okay?
Okay.
Pay attention, please.
Now listen to students as they discuss the announcement. Did you read the new announcement?
Are you talking about the library renovation plan? Yeah, I was just reading the school newspaper. I'm glad to hear that the IT center is open 24 hours. And they also say we can talk quietly there.
Did you say quiet? Didn't you read the part that the floors would be completed with wood?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I think the atmosphere would be warm.
Believe it or not, the wooden floors are really noisy. I once had a neighbor who built a house with wooden floors and it made all the neighbors crazy. Boy, it's such a distraction.
Yeah, you're right, especially if there are people wearing heavy shoes. That will surely exacerbate the problem.
And talking about the walls, whoever cares for the painted walls? How long do you think the brightness will last? The walls easily get dirty. I bet it's going to last for only a few months.
I guess you're right. Sometimes there are students who even make footprints on the wall.
It's just a waste of money. I think the university should use the money on other things.
Okay, now guys, pay attention to the question, okay?
The man expresses his opinion of the announcement. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Is the question clear, guys, or do you want me to repeat it?
Yes, please. Can you repeat?
Okay. Pay attention, please.
The man expresses his opinion of the announcement. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Is it clear now?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now I'm gonna set the timer. You're gonna have 30 seconds to think about your answer. And then you'll start speaking. 30 seconds to think about your answer. You both. Start, please. Okay, time's up. Please, I want Jokabet, please, can you start?
Okay, teacher. According to the announcement, the schools plan to do a renovation on the library. That is because the IT center want to equip with computers and new technological features. And in addition, all the space will be painted. But according to the lecture, the woman agreed in the first time, but in the second time we disagree because the men have some reason about it. The first reason, it is very difficult to be quiet in a space, and in some cases is destructive. And the other reason, some people do a damage in the walls. And it's for that they think it's a waste of money, the renovation.
Excellent job. Control your time, okay? You did it in 1 minute and 1 second. Control your time. The ideas were there. You explained perfectly what the reading was about and what happened in the conversation. You provide examples. You mention the reasons, and you conclude your answer with a concluding sentence. And excellent job, okay? No comment. Work on your time, okay? That's it.
Thank you, teacher.
And control your nerves as well. That's it. Now, it is your turn, Ezequiel.
Okay.
Please.
Well, according to the announcement, there is a renovation plan for a library. They want to keep with more technology, and they wanted to improve the walls and the floor in order to make it better. The woman thinks that's a good idea, especially because it would be accessible for 24 hours. But the man disagrees because he believes that the wooden floor would be so noisy, especially if they use heavy shoes. And about the walls, he thinks that nobody cares about it, that the walls, because of its brightness, will be easy to get dirty, and it's a waste of money.
Amazing job. Any comment to tell you. You did a perfect job, Ezequiel. Good job. That's the way you have to organize your ideas in order to answer this kind of question of speaking to, okay? Excellent job.
Thank you.
Okay, so is everything clear with the speaking to, guys? Or maybe you have some doubts, questions, problems. Now it is time for you to let me know. Anyone? Any comment, guys? Is everything clear? Please speak. You are here to do that.
Yes, teacher is. I understand all.
Okay, what about the rest?
Yeah, it's clear enough.
Yes, teacher, it was clear. Thank you.
Yep,
Okay,
for me too.
excellent then. We can move on to speaking 3 now. Okay, can anybody tell me what the speaking 3 is about?
The speaking tree is about summarize a reading passage and connect the reading with a lecture. In some cases, the lecture and the reading could be with a topic of marketing or psychology or something like that.
Excellent. That is, okay. The main difference between a speaking 2 and a speaking 3 is the topic, okay? In a speaking 2, you encounter with situations, okay? Real life situations, decisions in a university, in a school, or something like that, okay? That is the topic. What about the speaking 3? In a speaking 3, you're going to deal with academic topics, okay? Related to some area, I don't know. And the lecture or the listening will be about a lecture provided by a professor or a professional in the area, okay? So consider that. Speaking 2 is really different from speaking 3. What you have to do is the same. You have to read, you have to listen to a question, and after that you have to provide your answer. That's it. But the topic is different, so be careful with that. Now, I want, please, Ezequiel, can you help me reading this?
Sure.
Question prompt, this one, please.
Okay. Question prompt. The question will look something like one of these. Describe what is and how the professor's example illustrates this idea. Describe how the example of the illustrates the concept of, explain the concept of, using the example of, and given in the lecture. And finally, using the examples from the lecture, explain the concept of.
Okay. These are models of questions, okay? Son modelos de preguntas que quizás se les aparezcan en este tipo de speaking, ok, en esta sección del speaking 3. Así que considérenlas al momento de responder, ok, son modelos. Cualquiera de estas les puede aparecer, así que tomen nota de ellas, ok. Son examples, question samples, ok. So be careful with that. Now, how to answer this kind of questions? Here we can find a map, okay? Maybe a way of organizing our ideas. Please, can Jokabet help me reading this?
Okay, teacher, answer template. The good news is that you can always use the same template to organize your answer to TOEFL speaking question 3. Try using this one. Stating the term or idea using the reading. According to the reading, concept is detailed. Transition. The professor elaborated on this. First example. First, he explains, summarize in the first example, he says detailed. Second example, second part. Second, he explains, summarize the second example, he mentioned details. If there is just one example, omit the second example part of the template.
That's it, okay, thank you. Now, what do you have to do? First, when having this kind of questions, speaking 3, remember, you have to explain the term or idea that you read in the article, okay? For example, let's imagine that the article is about, I don't know, computers, okay? The article is about computers. You have to say, okay, in the article, computers are useful for people. That's it, okay? So that is what you have to do first. Now, transition. What is transition? You have to move on from what you hear from to what you listen. Okay. The article was about computers, and it is said that they are useful. Okay. And in the lecture, that is a transitional word, a transitional phrase, sorry. In the lecture, the professor explains that computers are useful because, and you can mention first example, second example. That's the way you have to organize your ideas in this kind of question, okay? First, explaining the idea of the reading, the main idea. Then make a transition between what you hear to what you listen. In the lecture, or according to the lecture, or according to the professor in the lecture, or the professor mentions in the lecture. That's it. That is a transitional phrase, okay? Then you have to explain the examples that the professor provides. First, he explains, summarizes, he says, he mentions, he details. You can use a variety of verbs. That's the way you have to do it, okay? This is just an example, but if you can follow this, no problem. And what else? If there is a second example, mention it, please, okay? Control your time. That's the key, okay? Second, he explained. First, second, third, whatever number, mention the examples, okay? So 4 things to take into account at the moment of answering these kind of questions. Main topic of the reading, main idea or concept, el concepto principal de lo que están leyendo, la transición entre lo que leen y lo que escuchan, mencionar a la clase o lecture, mention the lecture, please, the professor also, los ejemplos que el profesor provee. First example, second example. That's it. Pueden agregar algo más. Concluding sentence, okay? No problem with that. Because of these examples that the professor provides, it is stated that computers are useful for people. That's it. That is a concluding sentence. So, consider doing that. Consider following these steps in order to answer this question for speaking 3 the best way possible. Okay, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
I'm gonna leave it there for a minute so that you can take notes on it, okay? It is important, so it will be really useful for you to take notes. Now, 1 minute, copy this if you want, and we'll start practicing, okay? Okay, guys, time for you to practice, okay? We will see, okay? Okay, this is it. 50 seconds to read this, okay? Let's start. Okay, now it's time for you to listen, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now listen to part of a lecture in a biology class.
Okay, class, today we'll be looking at one aspect of the ecosystems, cyclic population change. As time passes by, species increase or decrease their population due to many different situations that are around them. This phenomenon is rather interesting because the population of these species returns to its original condition after it finishes its cycle. Let me give you an example of this. Let's take a look at wolves and mice. In the beginning, there are numerous mice and only a few packs of wolves. So these wolves have plentiful food sources that can fill up their stomachs. Therefore, there is a significant increase in the number of wolves and a decrease in mice. However, as time passes, the decrease in mice causes problems for the wolves because there isn't enough food for them to eat. As a result, wolves slowly begin to die off, giving time for the mice to reproduce. So the whole process repeats itself again.
Okay, guys, now pay attention to the question, okay?
Using points and examples from the lecture, describe the changes among wolves and mice. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Okay, is the question clear or do you want me to repeat it?
Teacher, please could you repeat?
Okay.
Changes among wolves and mice. Describe the lecture. Using points and examples from the lecture, points and
to reproduce.
Pay attention, please.
So the whole process repeats itself again.
Using points and examples from the lecture, describe the changes among wolves and mice. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to think about the answer, okay? And then I'm gonna choose a person who will speak. Let's start. Okay, guys, are you ready? Guys, are you ready?
Not
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 10 extra seconds, okay? But be careful with it. In the TOEFL test, you're gonna have only 30 seconds to prepare. So consider that. Okay, now I'm gonna decide, is there any volunteer? Let me ask first. Anyone who would like to share his or her answer?
I would like it to give it a try.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Fabricio. Do it.
Okay. Okay. According to the reading, population change happens when there are changes in the size of population of certain species. The professor elaborates on this by explaining that this happens and also this phenomenon could be returned to the original condition it had. Um, for example, uh, the professor mentions that um, well, mice and wolves can be living in some environment, and they when wolves get like when wolves um, are in higher quantity in relation to the mice, eventually the wolves will be dying and the mice will be reproducing themselves.
Okay, good job. You did a good job. But you have to control your time, okay? Maybe I understand that it can be sometimes difficult to explain because it is a topic we do not know about I don't know this kind of environments, animals, and so on. So my suggestion for everybody would be that pay attention to the keywords, okay? Keywords that you may use when speaking in order to provide a better answer, okay? But what you did, Fabricio, is okay. You explained what the reading was about. You mentioned the professor, okay? You make the transition. What else? You provide the example. You provided with example that the professor provided. Excellent job there. The only thing that was missing from your speaking was, or from your answer, sorry, was the concluding part, okay? That's it. Work on the conclusion and it will be perfect. You did a good job, Fabricio. Thank you for participating.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyone, any other one, please? Maybe? Any other person who would like to participate, or do you want me to choose?
I can participate if you want.
Okay, let's see. Ezequiel, please.
Okay. According to the reading, it was about the cyclic population change because of the aspects in the ecosystem. Refers that the species changing the size of the population cyclically. For example, the professor says that he says that the example of the wolves and mice, that when the wolves in population increases, the mice decreases, and vice versa, because of the wolves eat a lot of mice, but when there are not plenty of mice, the wolves cannot eat, they die, and the mice have time to reproduce, and that's how the cyclic population works.
Excellent job. In 55 seconds, you explained the idea of the passage, you mentioned the professor, you made the transition, you explained the example, and you made a good concluding sentence. Any comment? Okay, good job. That's the way you have to organize, okay? Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, Ezequiel. Good job. Now,
Thank you.
Jocabet, Rios Lucia, do you want to participate? We have time, so we will do it, okay? Please, Jocabet, you first.
Okay, teacher. According to the reading passage, cyclic population change is when the species change in the size of their population cyclically. In the lecture, furthermore, the professor mentioned an example with mice and wolves when the environment change and when the wolves eat so many mice, the mice dies. So, but when these mice increase, the wolves reproduce and the cycle tend to repeat. So the reading concept and the cycle population always repeat again, over and over again.
Okay, good job. You explain the details, the examples, what the reading was about. You made the transition. You could have said something like, okay, in the lecture, or according to the professor in the lecture. That is the transitional phrase, okay? So consider that, okay? For everybody, consider that transitional phrase. What else? Good example, good way of organizing your ideas. You paraphrase. Do you know what paraphrase means? You explain what you have understood in your own words. That is paraphrasing, okay? That is what you have to do in this kind of questions. You have to use your own words to express or to transmit your understanding of the topic, okay? That is what you have to do. Excellent job. Be careful with the word mice, okay? It is not mices, it is mice. It is plural, it is a plural word. Mice, okay? It is not mices, mice, that's it. And wolves, that's it. Please, Rios Lucia, it is your turn. We're going to stop here then.
Okay, teacher. Well, according to the reading, cyclic population change is because of the ecosystem is a functional system. The professor on the recorders says that the may increase or decrease the population, and also this returns to the physical conditions because are in cases on the climate change and are not enough food, but after they reproduce and everything back again. I finished before. That's all.
Okay, control your nerves, okay? I understand that it's difficult, but you can do it. You have to control, be more relaxed. You did a good job explaining the main topic of the reading. The lecture, you have to mention the lecture as well. You have to mention the professor. You have to mention what the professor says. And you have to mention the examples of the professor. You have to mention the wolves and mice, right? Maybe a bit an explanation of that example was missing, but you have to work on that, okay? Keep working on that. I am really sure you will be able to improve that. The next class, okay? Work on that. Organization of ideas is okay. You already know how to do it. Now, please practice it. We're going to practice the next session, okay? Is everything clear, guys?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Now, before we leave, as always, please, I really appreciate you complete this daily survey. And after that, you can leave the session. Thanks for attending and see you next week, okay?
Thanks, teacher. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Here.